Hello friends, today we will be talking about Professor UTPAL BARUA from Assam. He is a professor in the Department of Design in Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. As you can see, he is doing painting in his studio. He is a well-known artist. He has traveled the world and he has so much of experience and so much to share with all of us. So let's start this journey and try to understand his outlook, his opinion about art and the contemporary art scenario.
And the drawing and painting was a kind of continuous process for me in the school level. Then I met a very renowned artist of that time, Srijut Nilpavan Barua, and he saw my work and then used to inspire me a lot, encouraged me, and asked me, why don't you go to study fine arts outside of state. At that time it was very difficult to go outside. I'm talking about 70s. And finally, because of his inspiration and encouragement, I have started thinking to develop my career as a painter, as a professional painter. So I plan to go to Shantiniketan, Guwahati University, to join in the fine arts faculty. Art is always having a social impact all the time. If you look at our tradition, Western or Indian, the schools they were started at time. If you look at the Bengal school, you see after that, till now Shantiniketan. If you look at the tradition and their chronology, you'll find lot of new dimensions have been taking shape. That is important. And I believe this is important tools for social changes. We can look at our tradition, and that is very clear. Evidence is very much clear there. So how we get transformed into some of the social values, and the understanding because of the awareness. So if you look at the Guwahati Shantiniketan, because I'm giving reference again and again about the Shantiniketan, that's a real artistic hub from where we can collect so many ideas and knowledge. Like the Santal villages nearby. If you go now to the Shantiniketan, you'll find a touch of art and craft in their villages, in their.
Please subscribe and press the bell button for future notifications. Thank you.
So there are many more Indian masters. They were self-taught. But yes, sometimes we need formal education also to make your basics strong. You need to know about the color theory. You need to know what is craft, how it has been practiced. So all this information is required. Those informations you can get in a formal art education or art colleges. I think we need good art colleges. I think the artist should not be dependent on gallery alone, because artist and art is a journey, it's a process which depends on your own understanding and own knowledge. That is very important, rather than what gallery wants, whether your painting is sellable or not. I don't believe in all this, because I never sell my work. I used to sell once upon a time. Now last 10-15 years I never sell my painting. I never sold anyone. because I don't believe in this gallery kind of establishment. And see in my work, I do deal with a lot of textures. The textures I directly extracted from the nature. So the way I want, my requirement, whatever I want from the nature, I always take that and try to incorporate in my work just to make my composition more strong and more expressive, you know. But if you can see, my works are not realistic, but though they are talking about the nature only. There are hills, there are trees, there are shrubs, there are stones, and there are, various textures of nature. All are available in my work. So I do it in my own way, and that is the characteristics of my work. I usually paint in acrylic because I found this acrylic color is a very easy to use and it dries quickly. And the entire northeast, our climate is very fluctuating kind of climate, where oil medium is doesn't really doesn't work. It takes a lot of time to dry, and some fungal kind of that is not happening here. And all the time I think about what to paint, what to draw, and try to get the inspiration from nature, immediate nature, my surroundings, and slowly that has become, the nature, or that has become habit. Whatever I do, I always try to grab from the nature, immediate surroundings, how to collect visual elements, how to connect it with my own thinking process, and so on. So, I always try to motivate myself. If I do not have any kind of inspiration, also I do not find, I try to motivate what to do next, and that inspires me a lot. I never thought of cut craft. So last 4 decades I have been just practicing, working as a professional artist, painter, and I always inspired by the nature around me and the people, their thought process, their I usually prefer acrylic medium because I'm very much comfortable with this particular medium. And the advantage is it dries very quickly, and you can work on it again and again whenever you want. But oil, no, I tried in oil, but somehow oil doesn't suit me and my temperament. It doesn't work. So I have indulged to paint my work in acrylic medium. Yeah, the artists are facing lot of trouble, lot of challenges they are facing. Like even if I look at the entire art scenario of India, what I found, a lot of artists, amateurs and upcoming budding artists, they don't have a kind of proper direction where to go and how to go. There is no such direction. I haven't seen them. I think the trend is like that now. We talk about contemporary. We talk about the real truth, the existing truth. So many things are coming up now, using a lot of different new technologies, and that also gave art in a different dimension altogether. So that is also quite challenging for upcoming and budding artists. I always inspired by the nature and the people around me, from where I try to get the elements, visual elements, my required elements, what I need for the painting. So I was very sure what to collect and how to collect. After getting the elements, I always try to internalize the entire process of creation or creating some new, ideas into visuals. That is a beautiful process actually. And how to get things whatever inspires me in the nature, I try to transform all those elements into visuals. So how to transforming the beautiful things into visuals in my own work, that's a process I always follow. First I internalize, I grasp the thing, then internalize, and then I try to depict that in terms of visual elements like drawing, line, color, etc. I think drawing is a very important component of a painting, but not always. Not always. In my case, I can tell you, since I am doing semi-abstract kind of work, and I do not just refer to realistic drawing, like I maintain anatomy and other things, very, very correct drawing, proportionate drawing. No, I do not do that. I do not even make layout for my work. I straight start my work on a canvas, and I deal with the essence of the subject matter. That essence I try to, depict in terms of various elements, visual elements. It can be color, it may be line, it may be, other texture, you know. So it depends on how I manipulate things for my own composition and make it okay. When it comes to a particular, time that my canvas says by itself, okay, I'm done. You don't have to work much. But for those who does very realistic kind of work, they do realistic drawing. For them, anatomy and the drawing is very much essential for their work. Otherwise, it will not happen. So in that sense, I'm telling about this. And I think, yes, from my childhood, I was having tremendous passion towards drawing and paintings. And I used to draw at the very tender age of 4. I still remember. The first drawing I did when I was just 4 years old. After that in the school, primary section, first standard, second standard, I used to get highest marks in drawing always. And that gave me little, boost up kind of, and also my mother, she used to inspire me a lot while getting good marks in drawing. My drawing was appreciated by the teachers, by my friends. So I used to get a lot of encouragements, and my confidence got higher and higher. Okay. No, it's not like that. Art is for art's sake. Sometimes it works, and these are all old motions. Basically, see, when we look at technology is for technology's sake, but it serves a purpose, for the common people. The same way, the art is for art's sake. Maybe sometimes people may get some mental food out of a abstract painting. People may say, this is, I don't understand, it's for art's sake, something which are very, very, difficult for us to understand. But it's not that, You try to love the color, try to love the forms, and that is ingredients you're taking as your mental food. You may like. Okay, so it is a very controversial kind of slogan. Art is for art's sake. Art is for people's sake. All those old notions. Our future is very much positive. Very much encouraging for our society, because it's basically growth of a society. When you develop art, because I have seen the developing countries, how they are developing their social life even, how art has impacted in their day-to-day life even. So I have already mentioned about this, how Santal villages have transformed their social life because of art nearby Shantiniketan, the kind of activities they do, so it has a lot of impact. And obviously, society gets a lot of ingredients from the art practices, and it is also equally important. It works in a positive manner. Art has a lot of important role to development of a society. mostly what I feel, the artists of today are facing a lot of trouble to sell their artwork. The market is really difficult, especially in my place. I live in Assam, I live in Guwahati. There is no industry, no art industry, and no one is reaches here. Like we are far away from Delhi or Bombay. We call it mainstream, and we are away from here. The entire northeast India are lagging behind because of the market, because of non-availability of good galleries, and we have many problems, and we don't have buyers, tell you frankly. And the mainstream, all those collectors, buyers, they are neglecting us. They never come to us. They never try to show their interest to look at our work and what we people are doing here. The kind of hard work we are doing here. No one is scared. No one is bothered. That is a big challenge for the artists from the whole northeastern region, I think. So we should connect to Delhi. We must connect to Bombay. Then only something can happen. I mean, once or twice, one-man show in a gallery, particular gallery in Mumbai or Delhi. That is also not very much, comfortable for a group of artists. Those who are underprivileged, they don't have financial. So this is a visualization lab of my department. Actually, my students, they work here. So these are all students' work, all graphic posters. They do in this particular lab whatever layout they make. My students, I'm talking about my students. They do all kind of exercises here, and some of them. They do kind of packaging design, which I would like to show you on. These are all my students' work. After they finish their work, they display it here. And this is a small place here where I paint. These are my easels, and whenever I feel like working and whenever I get time to work, I work here on a easel or a board like this. These are all my now works are going on. So some of the works here. So these are my students' work, basically, under the course called graphic design. So now Sarojit will explain what about the assignments and their work.
So this was our first assignment. Over here we used different elements of type fonts that are very common, and like you can see Bauhaus, Times New Roman, then Jokerman. So we use these very common fonts and capture the element to create the graphic designs.
So it's very interesting.
All the work.
Okay, great. Nice. This is very interesting. Just explain.
Yes, sir. So this was the second assignment, and over here we took our native places and we sketched it down on paper. These are very abstract images of what is represented by their city. What is the main element of the city? We try to capture it on canvas.
Yeah, it has come out very nice. Yeah.
So here I think he is trying to capture the 5 elements of nature.
Which one is yours?
So that one. So this is
explain.
Beautiful one. An abstract image of Silchar. So I tried to capture the Barak Nadi over which Silchar is based on. And
I always inspired by the nature. If you look at our campus, I'm talking about the IIT Guwahati campus.
It's surrounded by beautiful hills, and we have beautiful 3, 4 lakes. These are all natural ponds. So whenever I feel like I go and feel the trees, I feel the surrounded hills, and it's really influenced some of my landscape paintings. You can see uh, that is there. And since I always try to extract the essence of the subject or the surface, I believe in essence, not the surface. So what I do, I try to get the essence of hills, try to get the essence of trees, and try to get the overall feel. And how then I just decide how to transform all this, feeling or essence into visuals, and that is the only process I have been maintaining or I've been doing since so many years.
In the year 2008, one day I got a phone call from Mumbai. His name is Ajit Bahadane, who's a collector and a sponsor. He's a actually curator of many exhibitions. He asked he was seeking for my consent whether he can send my name for Beijing Olympic Fine Arts, the competition. Then I said, well, why not? You can send my name as one of the nominees. After that, I had to send 10 of my works, and let me tell you, there were more than 50,000 nominees from all over the world. And the first list, they announced 11,000 artists from more than 580 countries and regions. And in the finalist, they have selected 300 artists from 80 countries, and I was one of them. I got one Olympic gold medal, one Olympic torch with a certificate, and I think that was my turning point of my entire art journey. After that, no looking back. I've been just getting invitation from various countries. I've been doing my, yeah, I have many exposure of doing international art camps, symposiums, conferences, apart from national level. In international level, till now I have completed almost 70 art events in various countries. So till now I have visited 30 countries. So I have varied experience. Wherever I go, I have seen one thing: when you meet new people, especially the creative people. And one thing was very positive about their activities. they've got a lot more volume about their work, you know. They work, a lot of work they do, and they talk about art. They talk very contemporary ideas. So my experience is wherever I go, I always exchange the thoughts and ideas, what is there inside my mind and what they talk, you know, I always try to understand in their own context, obviously. But then I try to grasp that and try to sometimes, you know, get elements from their own, you know, ideas and thought process so that I can enrich my work. So even national level, I have just participated very few camps, but I have seen our artists are, and overall it's a very good exposure for me, and I think that has really helped me a lot to enrich my own work. Like I can give you an example. I went to Egypt. I visited Luxor museums. I've been to Cairo, and they're all local art, which has influenced a little bit on my own work after returning to India, you know. So that way somehow, you know, a particular culture influenced me, and I know what to do with those elements, you know, which are extracted from a new culture. That really helps enriching my own work. So this way I think the journey is going on. Future is very good. I think it's quite positive because what was there at 20 years back and now, the art has taken a place in the society, which is very positive in the sense people started appreciate art, and they always try to understand what is art. Even few public art, you know, the public art immediately affects the surroundings and the people, which is happening, and I think that is very you know, positive in terms of spreading the art amongst the common people. Done.
Thanks for watching this video. Stay with Artkeeper, subscribe and share. We'll be back again with many more videos. Thank you so much.